This is me. Or wait, nope, actually that's not me. These are the Try Guys, and they're watching me duel it out in a 1v1 to end the day. Did I win? Also, how did I get here? Let me tell you a little bit about how I taught the Try Guys how to nerf like pros. So earlier this year, I got an email from a producer at Second Try, the Try Guys media company, asking if I was interested in being a part of an upcoming episode for their second season of New Guy Tries. They needed a Nerf expert to help teach Ash more about Nerf, and somehow they found my channel. My schedule aligned, I was close enough to meet in person, so I said yes. And if you're watching this video right now, that means the episode is officially live on Second Try. It is a subscription-based site, which is why I'm not at liberty to share the entire video here. You can get a 3-day free trial, just saying, if you want to check out New Guy Tries Season 2, Episode 3, to be specific. There may be some clips of it shared on YouTube, and the full video could come to YouTube at a later date. If you agree that should happen, you should let them know in the comments section of this video or anywhere else they've posted teasers of it on their own social media. But for transparency purposes, I was compensated for my time and I was allowed to record some BTS footage for my own channel. To give you a brief overview of the series, New Guy Tries stars, quote, television writer, author, content creator, and overall badass hunky dude, Ash Perez, embarking on one of the most significant new chapters of his life thus far, transitioning to the male gender, and rediscovering society as a new card-carrying member of the male gender. This season's theme is boyhood, which touches on swords, trucks, and guns. I think they refer to the last episode as Nerf everywhere, but the episode does explore real firearms and their history, and also air rifles. And of course, there is also Nerf. We had a few short planning sessions with the team to go over ideas for the video. They did want to have a small Nerf game, but they needed some training before just jumping in. One of the first questions I asked was whether we wanted to use only recognizable Nerf brand blasters or maybe even X-Shot, or if they wanted to up the intensity and go with the 14+ Pro offerings, which I assumed they weren't super familiar with. And subsequently, what types of ammo we wanted to use, because, you know, the sky is the limit if you don't fully define it. Ultimately, we did eventually just go with regular Nerf full-length dart blasters and Nerf rival blasters because that is what the eventual selected Nerf party supplier had on hand. I do think it ended up working out just fine, and you'll see why later. The team also encouraged me to dress in character. So that meant Nerf formal, in case anyone was wondering why I brought Nerf specific attire, that is why. And I brought many berets. And for almost every scene transition, I changed it to a different color, and the team thought that was really funny and they wholeheartedly encouraged it. The first thing that I got to do was an introduction with Ash and Garrick. I first introduced myself and then we talked more about what Nerf is, what playing Nerf means to people like me, and how others who are maybe not enthusiasts might perceive it. There's obviously so much that I could talk about, and anyone who watches the episode will probably ask, why didn't you mention this at all? Or why didn't you talk about that? And the truth is, maybe I did. You'll never really know. Not everything makes the final cut. I do remember one thing that I said that I'm kind of glad didn't make it in, even though it was kind of true. I've often referred to Nerf as being like playing a video game in real life for various reasons, but in this very moment, I got a little bit more specific, and I said that, quote, Nerf is like playing Fortnite in real life. Look, I'm not perfect.
We just filmed the intro, which was pretty fun. We're getting everything set up right now. They're doing one more little thing, and then I am going to show off all the blasters that I brought today. Right now, I'm walking through what is going to be our field. Looks like we've got our blasters for today. We chose mostly just Rival and Elite, right? We've got
most Rival and Elite and a couple Zuru X shots.
This man did a lot for Jared Battle LA years ago. Much smaller scope today.
Today, yeah, but still same level of excitement and hype.
So about 4,000 kids worth of excitement today still.
I'm always 4,000 kids worth of excitement.
There we go.
Next was a bit of show and tell. I was encouraged to bring my unique collection to show off, and that ended up being a mix of recognizable blasters along with some high-powered offerings, 3D printed blasters, and then some funny stuff like the world's smallest blasters and beer bottle secret shooters. Hard not to find something eye-catching on this table that the average person wouldn't have questions about. That was the goal.
We have a problem. They like shooting people with the Harrier now. Everyone wants to shoot each other with the Harrier, but we're not having that kind of Nerf war today. It's a safe Nerf war.
I thought this is what we were using.
No, that would be interesting though, because I would give the other team like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our team would get 1, 2.
For the target practice, I brought out a Dart Zone pop-up target and set it up about 30 feet away on a table. If we'd had more time, I would have had Ash and Garrick maybe try out the pro stuff from a much further back distance, but instead we prioritized some standard dart blasters and rifle. Nothing too crazy, but I wanted them to get some extra firing practice and then see the differences between how the balls fly and the darts fly. Ironically, we ended up only using darts for the game so that we didn't mix up any ammo on the field, but I'm glad we got a little bit of rival love in there as well. And it was pretty funny to see their reactions on how differently the darts could fly, like off to the side, and how the rival balls would just kind of float downrange.
Shh, they're filming.
And I'm like,
Next was a fun one that I was excited for, dodging practice. I had the idea to get a hula hoop on the ground and make Ash and Garrick dodge my shots one at a time without leaving the hula hoop. I went through both rifle and darts for both of them, again at like 30 feet or so. Both of them did very well. I know it wasn't a crazy difficult challenge, but I wanted them to see how unpredictable some of the shots could be when on the receiving end. Would it have been funny to then grab something like, oh I don't know, the Worker Harrier and move to a further distance like 50 feet away and do the exact same thing? Yes, that also could have been a little bit cruel, a little bit funny. It would have gotten a very different taste, but it may not have also put Nerf in like the best spotlight for the fun that we were trying to have. Also, we didn't have time for that. And then it would have been only fair if we reversed the roles and had them shoot at me. Only fair. But alright, the main event, the big game. At this time, we had more of the Try Guys cast showing up, including the guys themselves, Mr. Zach Kornfeld and Keith Habersberger. The teams were arranged the day prior, and on the blue team, you had myself as the captain, Zach, Desiree, and Ryan. The red team had Ash as the captain, Garrick, Keith, and Amanda.
Keith is a ringer on Nerf knowledge. I had no idea that he would have had so much experience with Nerf. We were just talking about the Maverick and old school blasters. Maybe I do want Keith on my team.
I got some armbands in blue that I guess maybe I should have returned these, but now they're a memento. Thanks, guys. Oops. Dylan, the owner of Battle Party LA, gathered everyone up for a safety briefing and a quick blaster overview with what we'd have available to use. Yes, relatively simple elite-style blasters, a couple fun ones that I recommended my team not to choose because they were not ideal to use, like the Tricera blasts, which were perfect for the Try Guys theme, but not user-friendly for a game. Naturally, I took the bold move to choose it for myself. I still don't totally know why. I guess I was just really big on being, oh, I'm a Try Guys video, I'm gonna use the Tricera blast. And also stopping my own teammates from using it. Now the game itself was pretty simple. It's 4v4, each tag is a point, get tagged, go back to spawn, avoid getting shot in the head. I think that didn't count.
For the first 2 minutes of every match, don't cross the middle line. Keep yourselves in your base. Then we'll open up the battlefield when we say open battlefield. That's when you can cross the center.
There was some strategy discussed before we started. I put some thought into it, but I let the others really take the lead on any bold ideas. Both teams tried to come up with individual call signs as well, and both teams somehow came up with bird names. You can't make this stuff up. I kind of like the stiff arm FPS camera that Ryan had going.
Stiff wrist.
Yeah, stiff wrist the whole time.
oh, that's amazing.
It's so good.
I did record some footage on my Insta360 Go 3, and then I gave Zach my Insta360 Go 2, so I actually have all of his gameplay footage, which is really cool. Some of it made it into the final cut as well. Anyway, here's some of that gameplay.
Who should we just all go after Keith?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm already hit! I got hit! That was an amazing shot, Keith!
How did that get hit immediately?
Point score!
Good hit, good hit.
Blue team doing a good job of showing cowardice. Let's see if they move closer to
Don't listen to him, don't listen to him. You're taking cover. Cover's good. You get caught outside of cover, you die.
Go, go, go! Open battlefield!
All right, back up, back up, back up.
Now I'm sure what you've all been wondering is, was the gameplay staged? Was it real? Yes, yes it was.
He's hit and out of there! Blue team at 6 points!
So we did actually play, and it went a lot like any Nerf game. Some tags were called, some were not, some epic plays, some confusion. People learned quickly that reloading was half the battle, and that even if you were 5 feet away from your target, a hit was not guaranteed.
Let's go!
Good job.
Clean sweep, baby!
That is a multi-kill for blue!
And despite the round not being that long and the field not being too terribly large, folks were pretty wiped after the end of that first round. It's true, it was a pretty warm day, and we were in direct sunlight with like no shade unless you left the field, so I get it.
I have no bullets, I have no bullets, I have no bullets.
At the end of the first round, the blue team was actually in the lead. Yay! How accurate were those points? So we scaled back the second round to be a little bit shorter after a quick break, and I switched to the Roblox Bees Blaster, which was better than the Tricera Blast. Dylan then introduced a golden gun that would give extra points if it was used to get a tag, so Red Team had the idea to rush it immediately, and this was Red Team's round to shine.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Score!
Ah, you got me.
Score, Red team!
Ash is coming.
Took a couple of pauses this game to check some mics and cameras, but as you might be able to guess, the round ended with a tie between two teams. Who could have seen this coming? The plot thickens.
Captain versus captain. Tiebreaker. We are tied. Captain versus captain. First hit wins.
Does that mean, okay, I just lay here?
Sudden death!
I got 5 or 6 points. And then if I did, it's a 13.
Now I went into this wondering, wait, should I lose this for the plot? But I figured I'd play normally. Whatever happened, happened. Honestly, Ash did get pretty close to hitting me on like his second shot. I felt the wind of it go by my head. Well, I guess that wouldn't have technically counted because no headshots. Unfortunately for him, I decided to play a little dirty by the end and teach him a bit of a lesson about cover and how you should not charge a man behind cover. And so he tried to shoot at me while I was safely behind cover, ran right past me, and I just... The footage looks pretty cruel, like I just got a like side shot as he runs by me. Whoops, who's the Nerf pro? Me. Blue team victory, yay! And the last thing we recorded was a sit down with everyone on the bench recapping our experiences. One thing they did cut at the very end was I said to everyone, guys, we're not done. We gotta go pick up darts. I think I actually got up and like left the camera frame. And everyone laughed, was like, oh my gosh, what, are you kidding me? We didn't actually have to do that. Dylan was actually very kind and he cleaned up the field. They did do a couple more action shots of folks while the field was being cleaned up, but that was a wrap on location for me.
Epic B-roll.
So I just have to say that everyone was just so kind that day, and I really did enjoy my time filming and even just hanging out. It wasn't intimidating at all to ask questions or worry about flubbing my lines and like, oh no, I'm wasting people's time. They were like super understanding. They give feedback on like, oh, you should try this instead. But it was like not just to me, it was to everyone involved. So I felt like I was treated like an equal. I was treated very kindly, very professionally. It was a very unique experience for me, and I'd never done something like that before. So I was very happy with how it ended up being.
That was a lot of fun. Not as much play as what you typically see in a regular Nerf war, but that's okay. This wasn't technically all about the Nerf. It was about the experience, and I think everyone that did get a chance to play had a really good time. They were all just talking so positively about that, and I'm just glad that I got to participate and just they hit all the right notes, like about, you know, being an adult and still having fun playing and just the joys of Nerf for the masses.
They brought some coffee and snacks in the morning, and then we had lunch orders once we were done, so yay, free food, I appreciate that as well. And then Keith even gave me some of his not so hot sauces at the very end. But my real souvenir for the day was this Blast. This one was not brought by Battle Party LA, this one was mine, and I brought it with the sole purpose of getting it signed by everyone who was at the event. I kind of made that happen. I think I got 8 signatures. You can see probably about 6 of them right now. Now you can see a 7th, and now you can see an 8th. The Blast is not something you need to use in an actual Nerf game. You don't want to use this, but it's really cool to look at, and they definitely got a laugh when both Keith and Zach especially got to see that this blaster existed. They're like, oh my gosh, the Try Guys blaster. Then I drove home for 4 hours. Thanks, LA. Now, as far as the final video, the final cut, the episode itself on their website, how do I think it turned out? I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, I would love it to be as much Nerf as possible. Give me the full hour Nerf cut of the entire day. But to be fair, Nerf did get a good chunk of time, so I'm not upset. And because that Nerf was mostly showing off recognizable, bright colored blasters in a low stakes game, I think it showed the lighthearted fun of Nerf in the best light possible. For general audiences, I think it's always a good idea to start by painting Nerf as safe, family-friendly, a goofy good time with little teases of, you know, what the hobby has to offer. Oh, you thought the creepy hand blaster was cool? Or the dart-firing Game Boy? Check out Nerf 3D printing and have your mind blown. Oh, you heard Nerf Pro and you have no idea what that is? Well, then just check out Nerf Pro and you'll find that it's not just Nerf Pro, and your mind will be blown. But if your baseline interest starts and ends with what you just saw, I don't think you'll be upset. And I really can't imagine anyone watching this video and being like, oh my gosh, Nerf is kind of dangerous, just as scary as a real firearm. Like there's literally mentions of Garrick saying that this doesn't sound anything like a firearm, which, good, any chance we can get to like not compare it, you know, 1-to-1 in the exact same way is nice, because most of the time, articles coming out that talk about Nerf are not exactly painting it in the best light. And I know the conversation here is very deep, and they do get into some interesting conversations in the episode as well, talking about gun safety, firearms, and whatnot, because there obviously is always going to be some sort of comparison. It is, for some people, always going to be a sensitive topic. But I'm glad that in this case, if you watch this video, you're pretty clearly seeing that this was the toy blaster battle that was all about fun. But I also hope that having a few different shooting sports shown together kind of proves that you can enjoy each of them in different ways. But no matter who you are, you should be allowed to enjoy them. I also don't know if I'm ever going to get an opportunity like this again, where I get to showcase my hobby, my passion on a platform that is not, you know, solely Nerf focused. So I hope I did it justice. And with that, I do want to give the Try Guys team a huge thank you again for involving me in this shoot, whether they were the camera operators, the people who were making sure my mic was all good, the Try Guys team who I got to play with and spend a lot of time with, Desiree and Nick, you guys were the main organizers, so thank you so much. The on-site medic, I know you're required to be there, but you did awesome work as well. Greatly appreciate your efforts in keeping everyone safe. No matter what I get to do in the future, I'll always be able to look back now and say, I got to Nerf the Try Guys, and that was pretty special. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you later.